Hey tech lovers, how are you? I hope everything's great and that you're excited to discover something different, because today I'm bringing you a device that honestly you don't see every day. Every day we'll review the 8849 TAN4 Pro, this rugged phone I have right here. An all-terrain phone, tough, with a built-in high-definition projector and a high-resolution active matrix organic light-emitting diode display. And besides, a battery that can last you many days. Yes, you heard right. A phone that comes with a built-in projector. If you like surprising technology and you're looking for something out of the ordinary, stay tuned because this review is going to interest you. I'll tell you everything about this device here on TechGround. This device comes from 8849, a brand that might not sound as familiar to you as others, but they're specialized in ultra-rugged phones. We already saw their tablet, the ThinkPad, in another video. Their catalog is designed for professional adventurers, or anyone who wants to stop worrying about drops, bumps, water, or dust on their phone. This ThinkPad Pro is a step forward in their lineup, not only because they focus on durability and battery life, but also because it adds features that are rarely seen, like this high-definition projector. Let me tell you, it already had it in previous versions, but in this one, they've improved it quite a bit. It's like 8849 merged their rugged phones with an innovative twist. Made for anyone seeking something unique, whether for leisure, work, or extreme situations. If you enjoy discovering unique technology, you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next TechGround videos. Now let's get to the unboxing. We find a minimalist black box with engravings on the front and the brand name and model on the edges. When we open the box, the first thing we find is the TAN4 Pro device, which immediately feels sturdy. And inside we also have a 120W wall charger, a USB-C to USB-C cable, a screen protector, a tool to open the protected slots, and the manuals and the warranty. The packaging is simple, but everything is well protected. It's appreciated that they include the fast charger and the screen protector, since those are details that are always worth considering. Well, we already have the device out of its box, and the first thing we feel in our hands is a sense of sturdiness. It's compact, a very well-made phone that seems very durable. It's big, but it's solid. It measures 17.7 centimeters in height, 8.5 centimeters in width, and 2.25 centimeters thick, weighing 530 grams. It's not exactly light, but as I said, it feels very solid. It's made of metal and plastic, reinforced with well-protected corners to absorb impacts, and it has a matte gray finish on the back. Combined with this kind of finish, it really makes the phone look pretty aggressive. It has different buttons, but let's go to the top part first, along the edge, where we have this 720 projector, which also has sensors for keystone correction and also for distance. We no longer need to manually focus with an uncomfortable wheel like in earlier versions. Now, the sensors are integrated in the front. We also have the infrared sensor in case we want to control some devices remotely, like the air conditioner or the television. And besides, we have the ventilation grill here to dissipate all the heat generated by the project as well. On the right side, we also have a ventilation channel, this grill we see here, and the lock and unlock button, which will also have a fingerprint sensor. If we go to the bottom, we find a flap that seals the USB-C charger and the mini jack very well. 3.5 if we want to plug in headphones directly. Now the left edge is where it gets interesting. And it's not just that we have a customizable button for keyboard shortcuts to go directly to different functions, but now we have two. One in a slightly darker gray and another in red. Both edges are also covered in this metal, which gives it that aesthetic and industrial touch. And it also has the SIM card slot on this side, since it supports dual SIM, so you can insert two cards, and it also has a micro secure digital slot to expand our storage. And on the top, there are two small buttons that let you increase and decrease the device's volume. The volume is usually on the right, but here it's on the top left. It's true that it might be a bit uncomfortable since it's such a big phone and we have to reach for it, but you can also use your thumb to increase or decrease the volume. If we go to the back, here's the interesting part. At the top, we have this huge camera module where we find the flash. At the top left, normal camera, the 50 megapixel camera. At the top right, the telephoto lens, which will be at the bottom right, which is for a 3.6 times zoom, okay? We have a 20 times digital zoom, but here we have the wide angle camera, so to speak, differentiated from the telephoto camera. And right in the center, at the bottom in the middle, we find the infrared camera next to the infrared sensor as well. I think you can see it around here. I'm not sure if you can see it. We have this module very well distributed with all the cameras. They all work. All the cameras are there because they need to be. Right below, we find the LED panel, an amazing piece of panel that lets you have red light and blue light at the top. Emulation of police lights and an incredible panel that has a huge amount of power, which we can set to several modes. Ultra mode, normal mode, low mode, and also the typical save our souls emergency or flashing strobe. Below this panel, we find an engraving of 8849. The truth is, it's very nice. It gives it that special touch, and right below, also on the rubber part. Here, we have the main speaker, two little slots, two little slits, which is a speaker that isn't very powerful. We'll talk about it later, but at least it has a decent and consistent speaker. And also finally, at the bottom, we have this little slot, let's say this module, this connector. If we want to hang the phone or attach an accessory, since it's heavy, we have this option, which is well designed both aesthetically and structurally. And on the screen, we have a very large display, which I'll talk to you about now, and the front camera at the top. Now let's go over the specifications and how it works. Let's get to the important part, to how it's really built on a technical level. With a 6.78-inch active matrix organic light-emitting diode display and a resolution of 3000 at 120 Hz, the truth is that it looks really good, with very vibrant colors and very good brightness even outdoors. I'll leave a test here so you can see how amazing this screen looks. As for the brain, we have a MediaTek Dimensity 8300 processor. There are two versions, one with 16 GB of RAM and 512 of storage, and another with 18 GB of RAM and 1 TB of storage. Additionally, it allows you to expand the RAM from 16 to 32 and from 18 to 36 GB. That's done virtually. The performance is very smooth both in daily and routine tasks, as well as in games that are a bit more demanding. I'll also leave a test here for you to see, as I've been able to, just like I always do the test. With the three typical games, it runs Asphalt, Call of Duty, or the typical Marvel fighting game perfectly. The truth is that it looks really good, and besides, it has multi-touch, which allows us to play very smoothly and without lag. As I mentioned before, it has a single speaker. Honestly, it's a speaker with quite a bit of clarity. It's not a phone that's excessively shrill or has a predominance of treble. You can hear both the bass and treble quite well. Since the speaker is on the back instead of the bottom or front, you won't get the same immersive experience. When you place your hand on it, as you do with phones or during my tests, you can feel the reverberation. But when you put the phone on the table or hold it like this in your hands to watch TikTok or Instagram, the truth is, I do miss it a little. I wish it had a bit more power, or that the sound was more present so I could immerse myself better in what I'm watching. Thank you. Another major strength of this phone may be its main justification. The weight and size come from its huge battery, which is 11,600 mAh. With a 120 watt fast charge lasting 2 to 4 days of heavy use, it's ideal for those often away from home or active outdoors. If you set it to low performance mode, you can practically get a week of use out of it. Connectivity is comprehensive. 5G near-field communication, Bluetooth 5.4, USB 3.0, global positioning system, global navigation satellite system, Beidou, Galileo, and infrared for use as a remote control, as mentioned before. It has IP68 and IP69K certification. And a military standard that withstands dust, water, and drops. I've already tested it and it chipped a bit on one side. But the truth is that the phone withstands any kind of adversity, including extreme temperatures, snow, and heat. So we know we have a phone that we can take to infinity. And now we come to one of the features that sets this device apart. And as I mentioned at the beginning, the projector is its strong point. It's a digital light processing projector with 100 lumens. It's not super bright, but it has a resolution of 720 with autofocus and keystone correction. It allows you to project up to 150 meters, although the ideal is about 4 meters of distance to have, let's say, balanced quality. Perfect, well, as I said, to watch multimedia content anywhere, from a wall to a tent, or simply, if we want to have it close by and watch, instead of watching the content on the phone, watch it projected on the sofa or on the wall. Just so you know, we have a projector that, as I said, isn't super powerful. The closer you are, since it's 100 lumens, the brighter and better it appears. But it's true that when you enlarge it and move back a bit, you still get decent quality with pretty good resolution. Well, just like all rugged phones, we have a toolbox. I'm not sure if you can see it well from here or better in the detailed shots. Various sensors and measurements, including sound measurement, compass, flashlight, levels for hanging pictures, angle protractor, and a high zoom magnifying glass. Alarm, pedometer, plumb line, pressure gauge, speedometer, also an underwater camera which we can use without any problem underwater. The camping lamp, which is the light I was telling you about earlier from the panel, is a super powerful light. I mean, this is the maximum brightness and I go blind. We also have the Save Our Soul strobe option. Well, we have a lot of options here. In case we're in a dangerous situation and want to let others know using visual signals that we're in danger, like I said, phone cleaning. We can drain at 100 or 1400 hertz. Let's see if we can hear it. If it gets wet, we put it in the dust. Dust removal, as you can see here, it has dust removal and also water removal by drainage. It's really good. There's also a cooler tool. We can activate the fan at different levels from 1 to 5. You can hear it here. So it cools down, let's say like an intercooler to cool the device. And finally, as I mentioned before, we also have the police signal simulator. We can also choose different ones. Background sounds. Well, it's really nice to have an alert and to have something here that's really visual and audible. And well, I saved the cameras for last because I think it's something I need to highlight. Rugged phones often have poor cameras. I mean, a lot of money or most of the investment in making this phone goes into the battery, the protection, the military certifications, and the cameras usually get left aside. Here, the main camera uses a Samsung sensor with 50 megapixels. A maximum aperture of 1.3, maximum of 1.3, which is pretty good. A 3.6x telephoto lens, slightly over double zoom with 50 megapixels. And besides, we have a digital zoom of 20 times that will give us the capability. Well, we're out in the field and we need to spot any element that's in the background or on the mountain or in any kind of situation where we want to go a bit further. Well, we have a pretty considerable zoom starting from 7 or 8 times. Obviously, you start to lose quality, you start to see grain, but we have the ability to get closer to an object from a distance with the telephoto lens. And then the 64 megapixel night vision camera, which is not 64 megapixels like in a regular camera. Obviously, it's a night vision camera, but it also looks pretty good. And on the front, we have a 32 megapixel camera. On the back, it lets us record in 4K, okay? It's important to know that it doesn't have stabilization. It doesn't have multi-axis optical image stabilization. So, well, the stabilization is kind of so-so. When I record 4K during the day, I do notice some lag. I don't understand why, because I've tried it on different occasions and especially indoors, and I haven't had any problems at all. And the 32 megapixel front camera, which is pretty good. At night, well, it's a bit limited, it handles lights well, but during the day, the quality is actually quite considerable, really considerable. I'm recording myself with the phone turned around because we only have the infrared camera on the back, and this is how it looks. I'm almost in the dark on this street where the street lights don't shine directly. It's amazing. As we can see, with a 64 megapixel camera, these infrared shots at night are of very good quality. With this 8849 Tank 4 Pro, we continue in nighttime conditions, but this time with the front camera at the maximum resolution, which is 1080, allowing us to record in high definition, and this is the front camera. This is how it stabilizes. Honestly, it seems to stabilize pretty well. I'm going to move in a bit so the street light's light. Let's do the backlight test. Okay, it has a bit of red from what it looks like, and nothing else can get in. You too? Aston at 4x. And zoom out. And this is how it looks and how it sounds. It stabilizes the front camera of the 8849 Tan 4 Pro in daytime conditions. We're walking with our arm outstretched. We're in the shade. Let's move into the sun to see how it performs. With the change in light, here we have it. I'm going back to the shade. Let's go to the sun. Backlight. The area is very high up now. Well, it looks pretty good, and like we saw last night, boom. Look. It seems to be behaving pretty well. Also, this front camera, you can judge for yourselves how it looks, how it sounds, and how it stabilizes. These are the main features. Most importantly, we can expand virtual memory and storage up to 2 terabytes with a microSD. To finish, here's a quick comparison. In summary, the TAN4 Pro is built for those seeking durability, long battery life, and unique features not found in other smartphones. A long-lasting battery. I still have 74% left after 3 or 4 days of use. The built-in projector is excellent, and the 3000 active matrix organic light-emitting diode display also stands out in this phone segment. If we compare it with the Tank 3 or the Tank 2, the difference is very clear. The projector now features impressive autofocus, improved image quality, and a screen refresh rate up to 3120 Hz. The processor is much more powerful and the battery is still huge, but now with a 120W fast charge, it's a significant improvement over previous generations, and in just about an hour, maybe a little more, it's more than fully charged. Compared to other models on the market, like the Doogee V30 Pro or the Ulefone Armor 24, the Tan 4 Pro stands out because of the projector. As I mentioned, it's still rare in this type of phone, and the battery life and durability are about the same. But the multimedia experience here is a bit more complete thanks to the Active Matrix Organic Light-Emitting Diode screen and the projector. That said, when it comes to cameras, both Doogee and Ulefone offer similar results. So, if photography is your priority, there's not a huge leap. There's not a big difference, but the strong points are the battery, like I said, the projector, durability, screen, and extra features for outdoor activities or demanding jobs. Weak points: a very heavy phone, a considerable size, and cameras that could be improved. But without clear information about software updates, since it comes with Android 14 and we don't know how many updates they're going to offer us, the price is between 600 and 700 euros depending on the version and offer. This one specifically is listed at 650 on their website, which, well, is pretty good. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, and we're talking about 512 gigabytes of internal storage. Who is this phone for? Well, durability, battery life, and features like the projector. If you want a lighter phone or better camera, this may not be the best choice. But if you have needs because you work in dangerous environments or you like adventure, it's clearly a very good device. Tell me in the comments what you think, if you'd buy it or prefer a traditional phone. And don't forget to subscribe, share, and like if you found this video useful. The description includes the purchase link for easy access. And thank you very much for being here. See you in the next TechGround video. See you soon.